It's Friday. It's finally Friday. Good morning and Namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today, the Zodiac Weather. My name is Christopher Witecki. I am the Sensei to Sirius Joy, here to stand in my heart each day and walk in the light. It is a pleasure to light walk with you. I'm love casting live from the Sirius Joy Garden Studios in Costa Mesa, California on Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Friday, June 12, 2015. Mercury is direct, my friend, and the sun is at step 21. Now, I've said it, I'll say it again. Step 21 is when we start to have the fun. That's because it adds up to 3, and this is where the adventure begins. And boy, does the adventure begin, my friend. You'll see in today's cosmic clock that indeed the gears shift rather radically and rather quickly today. But focusing on the day, today is a step 21 rule day, and step 21 adds up to crossing the bridge. That's what we do. We cross the bridge. And you'll see in the cosmic clock just what bridge we are crossing. But today it's time to reach out with how you feel and follow the love. That's how you cross the bridge, one yellow brick at a time. Now, looking at the key states of awareness, we're now in the 20s. We're in step 21. And the 2 is I feel. As of yesterday, everything in this transit until the end of Cancer will be I feel and something else. And because we're in Gemini, it will be I feel about this thought. I feel about that thought. I feel about this conversation. How you feel about certain thoughts or things. And this is really our spiritual awareness coming into play because our feelings are the communication tool of the soul. Then today we add on top of that emotion, I love. Step 1 is I love. And so basically today we are feeling what we love, or we are feeling what we love to think about. So when you feel what you love to think about, this is a day of dreaming, this is a day of believing, and that's exactly what this adds up to. Looking at the ruling state of awareness, I believe rules the day. And so this means that when you take the 2, your feelings, and you add love, you will discover a new belief. You will discover a new way of living. You'll discover a new philosophy. And that belief may not be validated yet. It might just be a theory at first, but doors do open. And that's why I call this step the step of crossing the bridge. Now, the moon today takes on a different tone. The moon today is in Taurus, and so emotions are based on value. Our emotions are value sensitive. So today you are value sensitive, and the point of that is not to feel bad or to take away from value. The point of that, I think, is to add value. So if you love something, emotionally go ahead and call it valuable. If you love a certain path, go ahead and call it emotionally valuable. That, to me, is the whole point of adding the value, is to go ahead and raise that stake in your particular situation. But before I coach you into raising the stake for your situation, let's first tame our brain, shall we, with the phrase of today. Today I feel my excitement, and I believe in my success. I feel my excitement. That's the first thing. Now, if you don't feel your excitement, you're going to find it turns into anxiety. All right? So if you can't feel the fun, it turns into anxiety. When you ignore the fun, it turns into anxiety. When you resist something, it persists. So to resist is to persist. Therefore, we want to acknowledge how we feel. We want to acknowledge what we're feeling today, and hopefully it's excitement. That's the part of the love that we're adding on to it. So I feel my excitement today. Then the other part of this is I believe in my success. And this is taking the excitement and concluding it for ourselves, that we feel it and we believe in it. We feel it and we acknowledge it. We feel it and we say yes to it. So really you're preparing the brain to both feel today's excitement and to believe it's correct, to sign off on it, to put it into motion. And that is the beginning of, in my opinion, crossing the bridge. So one more time to keep it in your mind. Today I feel my excitement and I believe in my success. Because I said so, I thought so. Now, the ruling step of the day is step 21. And to move on to the chakras, let's take a look at those colors. It starts with yellow. Step 21 starts with yellow. So you're going to start to see now that certain steps, especially these master steps, have kind of like their own traffic light, if you will. 3 dimensions of chakras that are lighting up. So we're in the yellow, and we move into Cancer, by the way, we'll still be in the yellow. So it starts with the yellow. Now, if you're having problems with your excitement, do some breath work, if you don't know. 3 breaths from the crown all the way down and out through the front of the yellow chakra. 3 breaths to the down and out through the back. If you want to do a complete chakra cleaning, do 12 breaths, 1 for each state of awareness. But if you're feeling excited, you probably need a little breath work, you probably need to ground. Then we add on the love. Love is the heart chakra, right? So I love, what comes from the heart, what we love. And so our heart is lit up. Now, if your heart lights up and you feel anything hurting there, or you feel pain or something from the past, you want to go ahead and protect that so your heart feels safe to open up. And then when we believe something new, it opens up the indigo. Indigo is our third eye. That is our vision. And so when we believe we see something, a vision completes. You might get a flash of the future. You might get a flash of the future currently being created. You might get a flash of a future you chose not to take. So if you see bleak futures, you're just a negative person, or a person that manifests negatively. That's all I mean. You're not a negative person. You manifest negatively. You say, I don't want this and I don't want this, which leaves room for only what you want. Now, if you study with me as Sensei, I'll get you to focus on only what you do want to see, which also works and is far more efficient, okay? So today, realize whatever you envision, if it's negative, that's okay. You're affirming what you don't want. If it's positive, you're affirming what you do. So let's look at the complexity of the inner gears of the clock today with today's cosmic clock. And here we are with the cosmic clock. Well, the sun has progressed to step 21. As I said, step 21 is where we start to have fun. We are following our feelings and our love. We will have quantum breakthrough through the weekend. I'll explain here in a couple of minutes about the Tower of Truth and what to expect over the weekend. But if you want to get to breakthrough today, you want to open up the door and cross that bridge. Now, like I said earlier, Mercury is direct. Woohoo! Thank goddess for that. I got to tell you, most of my clients have said this was the worst Mercury retrograde they've ever experienced. Now, I myself am pretty strong. I felt pretty good in this one. But, maybe that's why I'm Sensei. I'm strong when you're having a hard time. You guys are strong when I'm having a hard time. But the good news is Mercury is direct. He is direct at step 4, which means it's time to move forward with where you really belong. So be mindful of where you really belong. Now, Mars is at step 22. Step 22 is the quantum step. That's my feelings plus some extra feelings equals breakthrough. So, in essence, if your mind still has not gotten to the point where it feels like it belongs in a certain place, Mars is going to rah-rah that today, and Mars is putting focus on what I feel and more of I feel. So, in essence, this makes you impatient. This makes you excited. That's why I said I feel the excitement today. And this makes you ready to do anything to find that conclusion. So for those who have not found their breakthrough, you will in the next 24 hours, thanks to Mars. Now, Venus, Her Majesty, is at step 6, Leo. Step 6 is I receive. Leo is love. And so today we are receiving love. So the good news is, as you are trying to cross that bridge and follow the love, you are wide open to receiving it. That doesn't mean you actually are. You might be protecting yourself, keeping yourself from receiving it, thinking that you'll be controlled if you receive this love. Well, if you think that, then you will. That's the whole point of the transit. Whatever you think is reality, but today it is time to receive that love. Now, speaking of love, jumping just a bit ahead here in the same Leo transit is Jupiter. Jupiter is at step 18, and that means between Venus and Jupiter, we have a step 12 differential, believing. So if you believe you deserve the love, act on the love. And Jupiter says it's time to act on the love. If you were at a gambling table right now, let's say in Vegas, I would say put all your money on your favorite color, okay? Not the color you think is going to win. Or put all your money on your favorite number. Why favorite? Because Jupiter in Leo is favoriting people's favorites. So this is a time where the shallow fall to the ground, where people who don't live in the heart end up on their knees. I step up my meditation while Neptune is retrograde and work hard meditate because it takes extra conscious effort to keep in that synergy Pisces energy. Now this brings me now to the Earth. The Earth, which I haven't talked about, and a lot of astrologers don't talk about, but I love the Earth. I'm a Taurus, so of course I do. It's my home planet. But Earth is conjuncting Pallas. Earth is what we are actually harvesting. So while we're going back and forth in this Mercury retrograde with our thoughts and our conversation and yada, 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 we are in fact manifesting first theory about how life will be, how life will become. And today, with step 21 ruling the day, this would be the first thought of that theory, or maybe the thesis statement, or maybe the premise, or the title of your new theory. Saturn at step 0 is going to keep us right on the line here, and it moves to 29 next week. So this is the moment to go ahead and let your theories manifest and realize you've got plenty of time to change it until Saturn leaves Sagittarius, which is over 2 years away. So it's totally okay. Now, the Earth conjuncting the galactic center means that what we are manifesting today is in alignment with the universe. Anytime we conjunct the galactic center, it's in alignment with the universe. And you can see I use this cute little spiral symbol to represent the galactic center. The galactic center, if you don't know, is basically where we were born from, where our solar system was born from. In the center is one giant black hole. So let's look on to the Towers of Truth, shall we? Looking at today's Towers of Truth, you see we have this trifecta here of planets with Mercury at step 4, the Sun at step 21 having fun, and Mars at 22. And the Sun and Mars basically come together and unite as soon as you jump on that bridge, right? And that will be the case. So today it's a very excitable day. Saturday, however, looking at this Tower of Truth, will rule the day, and Mars and the Sun will dead conjunct. So tomorrow, in 24 hours, expect your life to become some sort of passionate river ride, all right, like in a theme park, if you allow everything to go with the flow. And don't expect your mind to grasp everything. Passion is not a complete sentence, okay? It's, oh, yes, baby, I love it, okay? It's not a complete sentence. So don't expect your mind to filter all this passion on Saturday. Just try to get those grand conclusions and get as much as you can where you see your life going. Then on Sunday, is where we grandmaster our life. We will get it on Sunday. If you're confused all weekend long, just make it till Sunday. Notice that Mars and the Sun are our ego and mind are. You hate when your ego wants one thing and your mind says no. This is a time where your mind and ego will say yes and say yes together. So let's look on to our telepathy today. When I come back with the zodiac weather, I'm going to give you some extra soul vitamins to help you with all that cosmic clock. But first, I want to test our telepathy. This is my little game where I send a person's name to your brain, and you see if you receive it on the commercial break. And today's telepathy is actually based on interesting Gemini women, all right? And all these women have a little bit of a theme together. You might want to see what they might be. Which Gemini female actress am I thinking of? Is it number 1, Priscilla Presley, number 2, Felicia Rashad, or number 3, the Olsen twins? Because they're twins, they get one blink together. Which of these Gemini celebrities am I thinking of? I'll have the answer right after this. You know, there's a secret in your birthday to courage, and courage leads to love. Are you ready to find out the truth? I have the answer. You too can find the truth if you dare. All that and more at secretsofbirthdays.com. And welcome back to Namaste Today. So for the answer to today's telepathy, I'm thinking of one of these Gemini actresses. Which was I sending from my temple to yours? Was it number 1, Priscilla Presley, number 2, Felicia Rashad, or number 3, the Olsen twins? And the answer is Felicia Rashad. Now, you might not have guessed that, huh? I don't know. I was trying to throw a curveball there to you, but what all these ladies have in common is dealing with big egos. Of course, Priscilla Presley, right? A Presley, that's difficult. Felicia Rashad, she had to deal with Mr. Cosby, which has come out to be quite a bear, as it turns out. So I give her profound respect. I've heard her speak and comment since all this Cosby controversy, And I just want to say to her, she must be in a tight spot, and she's handling it absolutely beautifully. It seems like she's being a spiritual friend to Mr. Cosby, and it seems like she's also being a friend to the community. So I thought I would applaud her. Now, if you don't know, Felicia is the sister to Debbie Allen, who is very popular, famous, probably most famous for Fame. That's where I have her memory imprinted in my head. And Felicia is a Step 28 Grandmaster Gemini. So this is a woman who can manifest with her thoughts. I would imagine she envisioned herself on a sitcom and found herself on a sitcom. You might ask, well, what kind of egos are the Olsen twins up against? They're up against each other. Imagine being chained to another famous Gemini twin who's just as beautiful as you. That's like dealing with Mr. Cosby. That's like dealing, with Elvis Presley. So I thought they were appropriate for the category. So let's move on to today's rock and roll gospel. And I am loving today's singer. Oh my God, I'm so proud of this particular light walker. I would give her major kudos. I would call her one of the top light walkers of our time. And she's a Gemini. Her name is Melissa Etheridge. I love this lady, and I love her music. It's passionate. She's right now being very outspoken about marijuana. She's had cancer. Marijuana helped her with it. I believe she's a lesbian and been outspoken about female-to-female love. She is cool, man. She's a light walker. And if you're wondering, she's a Step 7 Gemini. That's like my son, except she's born the next day. So Step 7 is basically a Gemini in the light, a Gemini that is engaged with Pisces, a Gemini that is engaged with compassion. And boy, is this woman a compassionate woman. So today the song I chose, and I really want you to think about you singing to yourself. All right, that's what a real master would do, sing themselves before they serenade another. And sing this song to yourself, I'm the only one. All right? I can hear the song in my head right now. I'm not going to try to attempt it. But boy, is it passionate about being the only one to stand in the fire for you. That's right. That's pretty passionate. So, yay, Melissa, and so cool to find out that this woman has the same step number as my son. Different birthday, though, because born years apart. So let's boil this whole weekend down for your weekend joy quest. And this is a joy quest that will last you for the entire weekend. So pay close attention, little grasshopper. Your joy quest for the weekend, should you choose to accept it, is think ecstasy. My Dr. Evil definitely goes up for that. But I mean that in every sense of the word except the MDMA drug. I wouldn't say think that. But I would say think what that causes, which is ecstasy. So think about joyful thoughts all weekend long. This is not a time to think about what could go wrong. This is not a time to think about what did go wrong. Remember, thoughts become things if you follow the secret, and they're extremely powerful. So this weekend, think ecstasy, my friend. Jupiter in Leo is expanding our ecstasy. I'm going to talk about this, but the Star of Bethlehem comes back at the end of this month. That is the birth of new heartfelt King love in your life. So this weekend, as you are encoding your master vibrations, think ecstasy, all right? It won't hurt you for 10 days to think happy thoughts. Now, would it? But before you think ecstasy, let's take a look at the moods of each of your brothers and sisters this weekend and your special soul vitamin. And your special soul vitamin is completely attuned, my friend, to what I just said, to think ecstasy. So I'll be telling you where and what to think ecstasy about, sponsored by Venus and Jupiter in Leo, in the order of the 11 steps of Sirius Joy, starting with the secret step, the Scorpio Step Zeros. Scorpios, sunny and sentimental this weekend with the moon in Taurus, but it's time to think career ecstasy all weekend long. Career ecstasy, your legacy ecstasy. Put it that way. What will you be known for? What is your heart excited at the idea of being known for when you leave the planet? So what do you want to have on that headstone? Step 1, the Leos. Sunny and super professional this weekend, but it's time to think ecstasy when it comes to your popularity. What kind of attention do you really want, Leo? Let's be honest. Step 2, the Cancers. Sunny and super social through the weekend, but it's now time to think abundance or think wealth. And Cancers, it's like other signs might be going, why isn't Cancer thinking wealth? Cancers think about helping people. They don't think about money. This is a time for them to think about money. Step 3, the Sagittariuses. Sunny and hyper aware of their health and lifestyle through the weekend, but it's now time to think self-love. And again, Sag is outgoing, optimistic, humanitarians. Think self-love, Sag. Step 4, the Aquariuses. Sunny, nesting, and resting today, but it's time now to think ecstasy when it comes to partnership. And that's a weird one too. Most Aquariuses prefer to be alone. But the ecstasy and the fortune is in partnership right now. Step 5, the Geminis. Cloudy and uber spiritual through the weekend. Maybe a chance of slight fears to face. But it's now time for you to think creative. And that's what ecstasy is. And you go, well, aren't they always creative? No, Geminis are usually logical. I'm saying think creative. That's your ecstasy. Step 6, the Librans. Sunny with a chance of randy through the weekend. But it is now time to think famous. And again, the Librans, do they want to be famous? No, they're always gun shy and take the second seat. But now it's time to think famous. All right. Step 7, the Pisces. Sunny and pensive through the weekend, processing a lot of thoughts. But it's now time to think about daily ecstasy. So what would make you happy and have ecstasy every day? What kind of job? What kind of lifestyle? All right. Step 8, the Capricorns. Sunny and super childlike through the weekend with the moon in Taurus. But your ecstasy is to think about a super healthy life. All right, so that requires joy. That requires high class. And healthy is ecstasy. Take that health all the way to the top. That means gold chairs, whatever you want, Captain. Step 9, the Aries. Sunny and manifesting their life through the weekend. But it's now time to think big ideas with a small ego. That's right. Sensei says, think big ideas, small ego, Aries, and you will get it. Step 10, the Tauruses. Sunny and cool with the moon in our sign. And this time now to think nirvana. That's right. Think about feeling nirvana, Taurus. And Taurus is usually the one sign that can tolerate all the pain and pull the big ox. You know, the ox pulls the cart, the bull pulls the cart. Doesn't think about the pain. Time to think ecstasy, Taurus. You should feel good every day. And then finally, step 11's the Virgos. Sunny, learning and transforming their beliefs this weekend. But it's time for you now to think faith. In other words, what if you never doubted? What would that be like? Now moving on to our Lightwalker Parade. Couple of things. If you're watched over on my personal Sensei network in Sirius Joy, this weekend, I'm just going to tell you for the weekend, I'm going to be focusing on coaching you into your heart. So today's, tomorrow's, and Sundays, all designed to reveal aspects of your heart. Hey folks, if you'd like to join the Personal Sensei Network, now's a great time. People love it, and they usually stay. In fact, they always stay, to be honest with you. Just come on down to SeriousJoy.me for more information. And for a limited time, I'm offering $99 video recorded readings if you're willing to be in a commercial with me. Now, someone pointed out that they couldn't find the link on the site. I fixed that. Mercury retrograde, me damn it. But it's fixed now. So if you would like to be in a video reading that's only $99, that's about $50 off the normal price. Come on down to SeriousJoy.me. $40 off, sorry. Come on down to soulmart.me, and find out more. And I'd like to remind you that I am on the road starting next week. I'll be on the road. I'm heading to Northern California, and from there I'll be heading across the nation. So I am on the lookout for Sirius Joy. If you would like to be an ambassador and host me in your town, that means you help me out. You don't have to put me on your couch. That means you help me out knowing the town. Come on down to soulgarden.tv and click on About Us and SG Ambassadors. If you've already filled this out, don't worry, we will get in contact with you. And then lastly, I just want to point out that a new episode of Modern Mommies is up for viewing. The ladies outdid themselves. You guys saw that story about the Texas pool party? Well, the ladies are talking about that on Modern Mommies. Check them out. Support the mothers of America with Modern Mommies. All right, my friends, that's all I have for your weekend forecast. Remember, I want you to think ecstasy all weekend. And if you can't think ecstasy, well, then just think about me. That should be some serious joy. Remember, I love you, and I'll see you back on Monday with more. Until then, live, love, be.
This is just so ironic.